camera is running. This show will take you for a walk on the wild side. All right.
The most dangerous thing about most pursuits is speed. For a crook on the run, speed acts like a narcotic. It blocks out all reason. It's a drug that says don't stop.
Johor baru Johor. Police tried to pull over this white car for erratic driving. The suspects ignored their command and sped off straight into the downtown area. To officers, it seems like this is another case of drunk driving. As the suspect ran a red light after another, responding officers tried to form a roadblock. Suddenly, the road becomes packed with motorists as one officer feverishly tried to stop the suspect on foot. The driver enters a residential area where he almost makes a costly mistake. As the driver turns left, he is met by a dead end. And this is where the pursuit becomes more dangerous. Desperate, the suspect tries to turn his car around, almost hitting the arresting officers. The chase isn't over. As police make a U-turn, they lose sight of the suspect. It seems that the suspect has made a clean getaway. But soon, officers found the speed demon, who enters a desolate highway as he makes more desperate moves in a bid to escape. Suspect exits the highway, thinking that he can elude officers. That is until he makes this one turn. His speed does him in as he slams toward a road divider. The collision destroys the car's axle as the vehicle slowly careens towards a ditch. The suspect opens the door and tries to run for freedom, but the officers immediately put a brake on their escape attempt. Both were soon arrested, and police found out that the suspects are wanted for a string of home robberies. This pursuit marks the end to the suspect's crime spree, thanks to the efforts of police officers. The only home they're gonna break into is a prison cell.
One of the things that makes any pursuit so dangerous is the total unpredictable nature of the people who are running. So the one thing you can count on is that these people are liable to try anything. Livingston, Texas. 911 calls are pouring in about this gone wild. He's already forced several vehicles off the street. And when Deputy Patrick Merrick races ahead to strategically block the menace, he veers into opposing lanes, speeding beside the patrol car and sending approaching drivers into panic mode. Merrick tries to cut him off again. And this time, the perp gets punchy, ramming the cruiser. A responding officer rushes to the scene from the opposite direction and finds himself in the line of fire. Converging units can tell that this guy won't stop for anything less than a roadblock. And even that might not be enough. The suspect doesn't flinch as he glances off one squad car and slams head-on into Sergeant Phil Waller at 50 miles per hour. He's unconscious, and his leg is broken in 3 places. But the runner does not survive the crushing impact. His erratic behavior was due to a blend of prescription pills. But when the drugs combined with a high-speed joyride, it was a prescription for disaster. Port Wentworth, Georgia. An officer responds to a chase in progress. A man in a stolen who already has multiple units on his tail. Like most fugitives, his flight is giving him a severe case of tunnel vision. What's worse, that vision is also blurry from booze. Now the short-sighted drunk is endangering innocent lives in his wild attempt to escape. When the lead cruiser tries to edge past, the lush swerves to cut him off. As reckless as he is wasted, the offender fights any attempt to block him in. There's only one way cops are stopping this guy: a pit maneuver. A tap with the bumper sends the flying out of control. Only some skillful moves by the officer keep his own car from flipping as well. He's banged up, but the criminal has survived the crash. He'll be heading to the hospital with a police escort. This drunken outlaw rolled the dice with a high-speed getaway. He's just lucky that the roll didn't end in a graveyard.
Look at all their faces. Priceless.
The popularity of SUVs and large trucks means that more criminals are driving bigger rigs. That's why police cars are built for hard-hitting confrontations. But some vehicles even put SUVs to shame, forcing cops to take the fight to a whole new level. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Even for veteran cops, a high-speed chase always brings new dangers. But this pursuit will be in a class of its own.
Albuquerque, all units, buses coming out of 127 eastbound.
A 27-year-old man has stolen a school bus.
We're getting to the construction zone.
And his recklessness won't earn extra credit with authorities. This thief has a long criminal history involving drugs and violence. So cops want to end his rampant field trip before he causes any casualties. It's a direct hit.
Has no front tires anymore. He's running on the rim.
Incredibly, despite the damage, the big yellow machine continues to forge ahead. Stopping this guy will require a much more drastic and riskier move. A cop actually tries ramming the behemoth with his squad car. But it's like a mosquito nipping at an elephant. And against this tough bus driver, It's the cruiser that ends up shredded. Another officer jumps in the ring and does a gutsy move, grinding against the rear panel. It would be a perfect pit if he wasn't going up against a 10-ton monster. It's going to take more muscle to keep this bully from killing someone.
Yeah, come on.
A police SUV defiantly charges the Goliath and teaches this big boy a lesson. With a full throttle hit, the giant vehicle whips in a wide arc, slams into the bus, and conks out. Finally, take this class clown to detention. After medical treatment, he'll face charges of theft, fleeing, and reckless driving. This school bus chase was a real education for everyone.
Running on the railing.
By trial and error. Cops learned how to tackle a hefty problem. And though this crook flunked at getting away with his crimes, he did get a crash course in hard-hitting justice.
In Subang Jaya, Selangor, this truck driver has just ran from a police checkpoint after being found carrying excess load. A lone motorcycle cop tries to pull over this lumbering behemoth. The driver attempts to run down this officer.
Uy, gila dia mau langgar polis trafik, uy. Gila lah. Uy. Gila lah ni baru ini, mampus lah.
Knowing that the driver won't back down, the officer races ahead to a highway exit. He then aims at the truck's tires and unloads.
Tembak. Kena tembak.
The shot hits its mark. One of the tire just detaches itself. In his bid to escape, he even rams several parked cars. But without any functioning tires, the truck lumbers to a halt. Bystanders and police officers work together and frantically pulled the madman out of the truck and brought him in to a waiting patrol car. He will be charged of attempted murder and resisting arrest, which gives him plenty of time to sober up in the slammer.
You might think it's crazy to put your life on the line for a job, but that's exactly what the men and women of law enforcement do every day. Low-life hoodlums don't hesitate to put cops in the crosshairs. So when officers head out on patrol, they better be ready for a fight.
This show will take you for a walk on the wild side.
All right.